Hey, Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Ladil. Thank you very much for agreeing to this sort of get together. And I have some questions for you about your project here in Pakistan.
Yeah, sure.
With the MIST project, the water project. I came here 2 years ago, and I think you at that time you were just starting.
Just launched, yes. Yeah.
So I'm just interested in sort of a little bit about this and what exactly is that, and if you could share some, to me.
Sure. So when I was in Manchester, the story that's written in my book, The Ultimate Bioreactor, basically after I finished my master's in 2012, my body was giving up. I had chronic fatigue syndrome. I had psychomotor neuron retardation. Every morning I'd wake up as though an elephant was sitting on my chest.
Yeah.
Whatever I would eat would come out. My organs were giving up one by one.
Right.
So I had chronic prostatitis, I had chronic epididymitis, and my organs were giving up. And so I went to Harley Street, and I paid £3,500 for full body MRI scan, all the blood tests, and even they gave up on me. Right. So when the entire doctors gave up on me, they said, we don't know what's wrong with you, therefore we don't know how to treat you. Yeah. I began to study alternative medicine myself. And alhamdulillah, after suffering for 1.5 years, I cured myself in 6 months.
Wow.
And one of the conclusions I came to was that if you switch to an alkaline diet and a low glycemic index diet, you can treat 80% of chronic illnesses.
Really?
Yeah, so I remember on Windsor Road, there was a place called Chunky Chicken.
Yes, yes.
So Chunky Chicken, I used to have this Caesar salad.
Yes.
So that was, I was trying to reduce my protein intake and switch to a vegan or a vegetarian diet. So the Caesar salad is what I used at that time. But anyway, long story short, after I recovered, I had heavy metal poisoning.
Yeah.
So I used functional medicine and I used bioenergetics to heal myself.
Yes.
And when I shared this with my PhD co-supervisor, who's called Professor Colin Webb, I said, I've come to this conclusion that if you switch to an alkaline diet, low glycemic index diet, then you can treat 80% of chronic illnesses. He said, that's really amazing, because I used to have a PhD Chinese student who's treating people using water, and he came to the same conclusion.
Wow.
And I was like, I almost, I came out of, I basically saw death so closely, because, everything was giving up, on my organs were giving up. So I said to him, I need to study this. How can you treat people just from water?
Yeah.
Then I studied this company called Energetic Technologies, which produces this ionized alkaline water.
Okay.
And when I looked into it, I found out that Bill Gates has this machine. He drinks this water. I found out that Shah Rukh Khan in India, he has this machine. He drinks this water. Angelina Jolie drinks this water. Brad Pitt drinks this water. So I thought Mahathir Mohamad drinks this water. So I thought, why can't Pakistanis drink this water?
Yeah.
So when I came to Pakistan, one of the challenges I set was to get this technology in Pakistan and get this water accessible to the masses.
Right. Okay. So, fantastic. Yeah. So, how does it actually work? I know you showed me your factory and
the plant.
Sorry. Yeah. How does it actually sort of work? In terms of for the layperson.
For the layperson, so basically, the process is called ionization. And so what happens is, so in Pakistan, we have to have a process before that, reverse osmosis, which cleans the water, because Pakistani water is really contaminated.
Right.
So we first clean the water and then we pass it through this ionizing machine. And what that essentially does is, H2O is the formula for water. And through platinum and titanium electrodes, through electrolysis, it splits the water.
Yeah.
So the more alkaline you want it, the more OH minus ions it will produce to produce the alkalinity that you desire. So we start off with 8.5 pH, and for those with medical conditions, we take that up to 9.5 if required.
So what type of medical conditions have you found success in?
So chronic illnesses such as diabetes. For me, the biggest breakthrough was last year. People that were using 9.5 for 1 year with diabetes, their average sugar levels dropped from 185 to 105 in 1 year.
Wow.
In 1 year, consuming 9.5 pH water.
Wow.
So that's the biggest breakthrough we've had. Then we've had cases with people with tumor indicators markers in cancer.
Right.
So I had a case of prostate cancer. So his PSA level was extremely high.
Yeah.
And with ionized alkaline water and function medicine. So this is something that I must add, that alongside function medicine, you get results really quickly, within weeks, if not months.
Right. So what exactly is functional medicine?
So functional medicine is what I studied to heal myself. I studied it from a chap called Dr. Mark Hyman. So he's based in the US. He was Bill Clinton's physician. And functional medicine is basically looking at how a single cell operates. So the irony is that Dr. Mark Hyman suffered from exactly what I suffered from. But the difference was he was a medical doctor and he was working in China. In China, he basically had mercury heavy metal poisoning, whilst I got my heavy metal poisoning from my master's research and my PhD. I was working with zeolites. So zeolites were basically nanoporous catalysts which leached through my skin, went into my bloodstream, and it was sticking on my organs, which was causing my body to fail, my organs to fail. So anyway, he left China and went back to, I think it was California, where he was based. And he asked his colleagues that this is happening to me, how can you heal me, or how can you treat me? And his colleagues gave up on him as well. But because he was a medical doctor, he asked the question, what does it take for one cell to be healed? If you can heal one cell, you can heal the 30 trillion cells in your body. And what he found out was, through food supplements such as magnesium, zinc, probiotics, and various other supplements, you can heal your body, even fish oil. So minerals, vitamins and minerals and food supplements, you can heal your body. And so this is what I practice. With ionized alkaline water, I give functional medicine to treat people.
So you give them the water, plus you give them supplements. Okay. So how do you work out which supplements to give them?
So this is a whole science. It depends what
summary.
Okay, so I can give you an example. I recorded a video recently on the 2 greatest health secrets. And one of the things that I realized when I was healing myself was the power of magnesium. So magnesium is a wonder element. It's responsible for, some people say 300, some people say 600 enzymatic reactions. And a lot of chronically ill patients that come to me, I give them magnesium citrate powder for 3 to 6 months, and alhamdulillah, they're healed within 3 to 6 months. Because it's a fundamental. So what's magnesium is associated is with relaxation. So it's the main thing that the creator has created to relax us, and it supports your nervous system. So a lot of people that suffer from anxiety and depression, you give them magnesium and you see wonderful results. And also people with digestive issues. So magnesium citrate, so the multiple forms of magnesium. So you can get magnesium sulfate, you can get L-threonate, which is good for migraines. You can get citrate, which citrate basically detoxes your bowel. And so once you detox your intestines, then your absorption improves. When your absorption improves, your body improves. So it's usually linked with people with constipation, they often take magnesium citrate.
Well, the interesting thing is that obviously, as you know, from my clinic, I treat various type of conditions. And what interested me about the reason I wanted to talk to you about was that I also treat, like, for example, diabetes, and to manage diabetes level. But that's mainly type 2. But you mentioned to me earlier that you treat you had success with type 1. That's unheard of. So I'm interested to know about that story.
So basically, there's a girl. She was 9 when she visited me, and she had type 1 diabetes. She was taking insulin, and her father basically asked me, "Is there any way this can be treated?" And according to allopathic doctors or conventional medicine doctors, they say there isn't. But the amazing thing is, if you give someone with even type 1, and this is scientifically been proven, so there's an article online, it's called Advances in Reduced Water. And they've proven that type 1 diabetes, you can help with 9.5 pH ionized alkaline water. So how that works is basically they found that ionized alkaline water stimulates the pancreatic beta cells, which allows insulin to be produced. When insulin produces naturally, then you do not need to inject as much, or eventually you can stop injecting it. Your pancreas regenerates. So this is the science behind it.
It's fascinating. I mean, where can we get more information about what you do, and is there any website?
I launched, so I had a lot of MBBS students, some in Karachi, some in Lahore, etc., and some around the globe. They said that we want to know, because we want to know more about functional medicine, basically, because there's not that much awareness about it. So what I've decided now, because of a lack of time and number of projects that I'm working on, I'm doing a YouTube series on major chronic illnesses and the solution according to functional medicine.
Okay.
So far I've done diabetes, and I'm going to record depression also for functional medicine. Diabetes, so the other thing linked with diabetes, for example, is chromium.
Sure.
So there's a supplement called GTF Chromium, which is an amazing supplement, which essentially is a glucose metabolizer. So it breaks down glucose.
Sure.
And if you take GTF Chromium with 9.5 pH ionized alkaline water, you see tremendous results with diabetic patients.
Right, fantastic.
And so another thing I'd like to add is that, you know, where we're based now in Pakistan, Pakistan has the highest diabetes rates in the entire globe.
Yeah, is there a reason why that is? I mean, and it seems to be on an increase. When I was a child, we was unheard of. I never even heard of anybody with diabetes.
You know, it's 30.8%.
Yeah.
The highest in the globe.
Do we know why?
And primarily because of our diets. Our diet, and if you narrow it down, why? Because our sodas, carbonated drinks.
Yeah. So that's your biggest poison.
Yeah.
So they should really be drinking your water, 9.5 mist water, and keep these carbonated drinks, which are like kryptonite for a human being, basically. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to ask you, just a short, quick introduction to what you do. And I think at the bottom of the YouTube, we'll put down links to your videos that you do online.
Sure.
That's what I wanted to say. Thank you very much for your time.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.